the 911 magazine in the fast lane. Race car driver Mark Webber takes the 911 Turbo GT1 for a spin and tells how turbo technology moved from racing to production cars. Plus, an overview of the 911 Turbo generations and the top athlete among the SUVs, the new Cayenne Turbo GT.
Motorsport is significant with Porsche. The DNA starts on the racetrack, and we don't shy away from the challenges that competition bring us because the racetrack, the stopwatch never lies. We have to compete against the opposition, and we have to be ready for the challenge that it faces, and that then is also going into the production cars, which is a great bonus. So in 1972, with the 917-10, they won the World Championship with really the first turbocharged race car, and with that inspiration, they then put the first turbo in actually Louisa Piech. She had the slim-bodied turbo in '74, and then the general production run ran in 1975 after that with a turbocharged 911. The significant style changes was the wider body, more aggressive stance with the turbo, also the whale tail, which was a new introduction, and then also the turbo logo on the rear of the car. Internal code name actually for the first turbo body was the 930. My favorite is the 997 GT2 RS. I have one. It's got a lot of power. The 997 was quite light, around 1,300 kilos. It was one of my first turbos I bought. Well, the latest generation is the 8th generation, the 992, 650 horsepower. It's an extraordinary engine, incredible performance. Turbo for me is 911 sheer power. From the 993 onwards, it's always been all-wheel drive. Racing drivers always love four-wheel drive cars. It now has variable aerodynamics, and it's really been the spearhead of the 911, if you like, in terms of the turbo component, being with a tremendous engine, tremendous power, and pushing the boundaries.
Whoever thinks of Porsche 911 invariably associates the turbo models with the iconic sports car brand. As of Generation 2, the G-Series, the six-cylinder turbocharged rear engine, has been the ultimate of every model series. A true super sports car. The driver is at the wheel of the then fastest production car in the world. Distinctive features, a large spoiler and the turbo logo at the rear, internally referred to as the 930. The first turbo comes with a boost pressure-controlled exhaust turbocharger. As soon as it enters the loading area, a veritable storm breaks loose. The 3.0-liter Boxer's feisty power delivery calls for an experienced hand. After 3 years of construction, and thanks to intercooling, the turbo reappears with a power increase of 40 horsepower. A world first for a series production vehicle. More technology, more comfort. With a smoother acting turbocharger and chassis optimizations, Porsche presents the completely revised third generation in 1990. Equipped with power steering and ABS system as standard, despite economic pressure on the brand in the early 1990s, the turbo successfully holds its own against a growing number of sports car competitors. This is achieved through clear development goals that apply to every turbo generation, technical refinements, and higher performance. Last of an era, the air-cooled Porsche 911 Turbo Type 993 is today a popular collector's item. Flashback from 1995, the twin-turbo power unit passes the magic 400 horsepower threshold. Simultaneously, the Boxer is considered the lowest emission series production engine in the world. In order to transfer this power to the road, for the first time ever, the top-of-the-range engine is equipped with all-wheel drive, a concept that continues to characterize the 911 Turbo to this day. The new model with the 996, Porsche changes everything. In a break with decades of air-cooled history, the six-cylinder Boxer engine is now water-cooled. The change is well justified. The turbo, with 420 horsepower from 3.6 liters of displacement, is launched in 2001. This model generation is based on a completely new technical platform. For the first time, the customer can choose either a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 5-speed Tiptronic automatic. In addition, an entirely new ceramic brake system sets new standards in safety. Evolution rather than revolution, the 997 Turbo is launched in 2006. Thanks to variable turbine geometry, VTG for short, turbo lag is reduced, a significant difference from the rough predecessor of the first generation. As of 2010, the 7-speed PDK replaces Tiptronic and features a differential lock on the rear axle for even better traction. New technologies. The 991 brings with it only the third complete platform change in the history of the 911. Active aerodynamics appear for the first time. The rear spoiler is optimally positioned, depending on both the speed and driving dynamics program. Another technical highlight is the rear axle's active steering. These technical developments always serve one purpose: maximum agility on the road. The 2020 world premiere of the 8th generation is presented online, a first in the long history of the Turbo. And once again, the engineers succeeded in raising driving dynamics to a new level. Piezo injectors are used in an entirely new generation of engines. They improve response, performance, and emissions. Whether it's the 4Bayer from 1975 or the 992's perfection down to the last detail, they have all claimed and can still claim to be the worldwide benchmark for performance-oriented sports cars, something every generation has lived up to.
Die erste Generation des Cayenne, die Entwicklung startete ja bereits Ende der 90er Jahre und der Anspruch war damals natürlich auch schon, das sportlichste Angebot zu bieten. Beim Cayenne wollte man dann 3 Dinge: eine breite Spreizung zwischen Alltagstauglichkeit, Langstrecken-Reisekomfort und einer Offroad-Performance. Und neben dem Basis, dem S und dem Turbo war der Turbo S das leistungsstärkste und performanteste Derivat an der Stelle. In der zweiten Generation des Cayenne kam dann das sportliche Derivat GTS dazu, was den Fokus noch mal mehr auf Querdynamik legt. Und in der dritten Generation wurde neben dem bekannten, etablierten Vollheck-SUV das sportlichere Coupé gebracht. Und auf dem Turbo-Coupé basiert ja unser Cayenne Turbo GT als höchste Evolutionsstufe. Wir hatten den Turbo GT von Anfang an im Blick, also dass wir so ein Modell machen wollen. Beim Turbo GT kann ich mich erinnern, in einer frühen Phase des Projektes haben wir ein bestehendes Fahrzeug hergenommen und haben da mal das neue Aggregat mit 640 PS und 850 Newtonmeter eingebaut. Unsere Vorstände sind das Fahrzeug dann gefahren und waren begeistert. Dann haben wir auch ein positives Feedback gekriegt und so ist das Projekt dann gestartet worden. Wir haben ja beim Turbo GT alle fahrwerksrelevanten Systeme, Regelsysteme angefasst. Also auch beginnend beim Aggregat. Da wurde Kurbelwelle, Pleuel, die Injektoren, die Turbolader, da wurde alles angefasst. Dann auf der Fahrwerksseite die Dreikammer-Luftfederung, die wurde noch mal härter ausgelegt. Darüber hinaus haben wir an der Vorderachse die Felgen um 1 Zoll verbreitert, den Vorsturz um 0,45 Grad negativer gestellt. Diese ganzen Komponenten zusammen in einem Setup auf den Punkt hinzubekommen, das war auch die besondere Herausforderung bei dem Projekt. Das Gewicht war natürlich auch ein besonderes Thema. Dann haben wir das Carbondach entsprechend zugeordnet, haben nochmal eine Titanabgasanlage neu entwickelt und die Keramikbremse natürlich ist da auch ein großer Beitragsleister. Diese 3 Komponenten in Summe bringen uns quasi zurück auf das Gewichtslevel des Turbo, obwohl wir natürlich die ganze fahrdynamische Performance mit an Bord haben. Der beste Moment natürlich war auf der Nordschleife am Nürburgring, als es uns gelungen ist, da den Rundenrekord mit 7 Minuten 38,9 einzufahren. Ich denke, wenn man die beiden Fahrzeuge, also erste Generation Turbo S und unser aktueller Turbo GT, wenn man die sich so anschaut, dann sieht man schon die Evolution. Da liegen irgendwo 15 Jahre dazwischen, aber dennoch finde ich, das ist schön. Wir wissen, wo wir herkommen, das sieht man dem Fahrzeug an und das ist es, was Porsche ausmacht.
Well, we can also find the turbo in the GT1, which is an extraordinary car. Obviously, the street version was only 21 built. Very, very rare piece of Porsche history, if you like. It was a 1-2 victory in Le Mans with the 98 Le Mans car, so it has great success. It was a bi-turbo, a lot of power again, 544 horsepower. And that engine had great success and incredibly reliable.
Lucky to be driving the Porsche GT1 road version. What a cracking machine. Feel that turbo engine. Phenomenal power, phenomenal usability across the range.
was really dope. I like to be at the whole crew and meet up with everyone. I skate with everyone. I talk with everyone was really nice. Incredible, man. It was my first time skating with all of the crew as well. Skating in the actual event, in the actual hell ride was something I always wanted to do, and it was crazy. The vibe was sick and all of the people were amazing. this spot in Vienna was super dope, and everybody was super hype, and we were just like having fun with all the homies there. Tel Aviv, that was the vibe. Final stop of the Euro tour. Lots of fun. Locals, always happy to see the crew come through. That was amazing. Fun bowl session. Just, yeah, good vibes and lots of locals participating in the session. And yeah, it was going down. Session at Golda went off. So many kids showed up. We were handing out money. They were motivated. They're getting after it. But most importantly, everyone was just, that energy was there. They were there skating for the right reasons, and it was just a fired up session. It was really cool to be a part of and to see go down.
My name is Jessica Grulich. My name is Audrey Mono.
Hi, I'm Billy Valentine.
Hi, I'm Ben King.
Hey, my name's Logan Dubois.
I'm Kim Madden.
I'm Aaron Togeling.
Hi, I'm Robert O'Day.
Started as a tooling engineer. I'm an industrial engineer.
Manufacturing engineer.
Industrial engineer.
I'm a liaison engineer.
I'm an equipment and tool engineer.
I'm a liaison engineer.
I'm a manufacturing engineer.
On a daily basis, I feel that what drives me is the responsibilities that we have as industrial engineers.
Manufacturing engineering is extremely important to Boeing because it makes sure that engineering designs and fabrication are seamlessly integrated.
As a liaison engineer, I feel we are most responsible for the safety and integrity of the airplane first and foremost.
My favorite jobs are always the safety and ergonomic related projects because what they do is really difficult. So anything as an engineer we can do to make their lives easier is really rewarding.
We develop staffing plans, business plans writ large. We do a lot of process improvement, and in general, we're the advocate for operations and manufacturing in an engineering context.
So it's really exciting every week here because we don't know what we're going to be doing. I know I'll be working on something on the airplane. I don't know what the issue would be, and it'll be exciting to try to learn and figure out what's going on.
We measure airplane products as they're being built to verify that they're installed in the correct locations, or if parts aren't fitting together, we can help the investigation to see what isn't fitting or where some of the root causes might be for the problem.
There's an extreme focus on what does the production system look like to build these airplanes? How do we further design for manufacturability and assembly? How do we utilize our lean processes, automation, and all our processes and tools to make it happen?
I wouldn't have ever thought that I would be able to work so closely next to the airplane and have such a hands-on job.
If you look behind me, you'll see the 737 MAX assembly line in Renton.
This airplane behind us comes in smaller sections and we put it all together on this factory floor.
The Boeing factory in Everett, Washington, you can fit all of Disneyland inside it.
The scale is just so different than when you're at the airport in the jetway. You come down and you just look up and it's a whole airplane. You really don't appreciate the scale until you're on the floor right next to them.
The magnitude and the size really takes your breath away. It's astonishing.
You're working with trying to take an ideal view that the designers have and turn it into a real product.
No 2 days are ever the same, and there's no possibility of being bored.
I feel like I'm a contributing piece of this whole organization, and I feel like my job is important.
Production and industrial engineering at Boeing includes equipment and tooling engineering, NC programming, manufacturing engineering, industrial engineering, and liaison engineering.
New Bethesda is like the spiritual home of free thinkers. It's a sort of vast landscape that's almost biblical in magnitude. The harshness of it makes you a much more thoughtful and spiritual person. It's almost an oasis for people who are innovative in their thinking. Because to survive on such a land means you have to be stronger. You have to look for answers in non-traditional ways. This seems to be a place that is a magnet for people who want to express themselves and makes it a visually interesting place to be as a photographer. To my friends in America, if they wanted to find an area that was quirky, warm, creative, and in the middle of a fantastic land, I would say come to New Bethesda, because that's where they would find it all together in one small, wonderful place.
December 21st, 1620. Pilgrims aboard the Mayflower go ashore for the first time at present-day Plymouth, Massachusetts. That's where they settle the first permanent European colony in what's known as New England. 1988. A terrorist bomb explodes aboard a Pan Am Boeing 747 over Lockerbie, Scotland. The blast kills 270 people as wreckage from the plane crashes to the ground. Libyan agents are later tried for the bombing, while Libya's government accepts responsibility nearly 15 years later. 1968. Apollo 8 lifts off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, start of the first mission to orbit the moon. And 1937. Actress Jane Fonda, known for her big screen roles, political activism, and workout videos, is born in New York. Today in history, December 21st. Ed Donahue, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,